in this 2-game series from the Oakland Alameda County Coliseum right here in Oakland, California. We are ready for baseball this afternoon. Austin Jackson stands in, and the first pitch of the ball game is outside to Jackson. Tigers a winner last night behind Justin Verlander, and they're trying to get this road trip off to a really good start with a sweep here of the Athletics. There's a ball outside, 2-0 on Jackson, who was 2 for 5 in the ball game last night. Neither team could really do anything until the Tigers got on the scoreboard in the 7th and never trailed after that. Here's the 2-0 pitch, and it's a ball outside, 3-0 on Jackson. Tyson Ross on the hill today for the Oakland Athletics. And there is a strike called. Up the right hand goes Mike DeMuro. 3-1 on Jackson, batting .331. He has knocked in 11 this year. Had a big RBI in the ball game last night. And he missed inside. Ball 4. Leadoff man is on. Here is the Tigers starting lineup this afternoon, presented by Big Boy. And you just saw Austin Jackson leading it off. He'll be followed by Johnny Damon and then Maglio Ordonez. He's back in the lineup today. Cabrera cleaning up, followed by Bosch and Inge. Your bottom 3 today: Avila, Santiago, and Worth. Damon steps in now with the leadoff man on. There's a strike from Ross.
Let's see if Austin Jackson's in a running mood this afternoon. Ross is a big boy. Usually when you stand 6 feet 7 inches, you don't have that quick a move. And you don't get the ball to home plate as quickly as the smaller, more athletic players do. So that may be a weakness that the Tigers can exploit here this afternoon.
Ross having trouble finding the strike zone. Johnny Damon 1 for 4 with a walk in the ball game last night, and he hammers that one foul back out of play. 1-2 on Damon.
It's a good win for the Tigers, starting off the final West Coast road trip with Verlander on the mound. What a game it was last night.
Really a well-pitched ball game from both ends. Dallas Creighton, who was under the weather, was outstanding as well, and finally had to leave because he wasn't feeling good. That one just missed on the outer edge. A little bit wide. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Damon. Plenty of sunshine here this afternoon. Clear skies and a gorgeous day here in the Bay Area. And the 2-2 popped him up. At first base, Derek Barton for the out, one gone. Well, the Bernstein advantage brings you the scouting report on Tyson Ross. Get the Bernstein advantage. We go to bat for you.
Ross is getting his second spot start of the season. He got one 5 days ago against the Angels, and because of that, he'll be on a pitch count this afternoon. More than likely right around 70 or 80 is what the manager, Bob Guerin, would like to get out of him, and he's a local flavor. He was born in Berkeley, also played collegiately at the University of Cal, and was all Pac-10 in 07 and 08. He's got an outstanding fastball, 97, 98 miles an hour.
Ross missing outside to Maglio Ordonez as we look at the numbers on Tyson Ross.
Although they say he throws much harder when pitching out of the bullpen for the Oakland A's than he does as a starter, but his numbers aren't bad. Just his second start, 1-1, and just a year and a half of minor league baseball before making their major league club as the only non-roster invited to spring training this year for Oakland.
Well, the Tigers utilized the expertise of Brennan Bosch, who was a teammate of Tyson Ross at Cal, and Brennan was giving Lloyd McClendon the scouting report before the game. Ross stands 6'6", 225 out of Berkeley, only 23 years old. One of the things that has been said about Ross is that he has an outstanding slider.
He was a starter in the minor leagues for Oakland, but it's not odd to see a kid that starts in the minor leagues, and then when they need an arm in the big leagues, that young player comes up and he kind of learns while pitching in the bullpen until they get a spot that opens up in their rotation, and that appears to be the case for Ross. They see him as a starter in the future.
Ordonez was bothered by a sore heel, did not play in the ball game last night. He is DHing today.
He said for the life of him, he does not know how he bruised his heel. He did show it to me today. There was a little bit of swelling on it, but says he doesn't know what he did.
What if he did it hitting a bag at the back end of his foot, maybe? I don't know.
That's what I said to him, and he says, I just don't know. But he said he's okay. Obviously he is. He's in the lineup today.
And if he's swinging bat more than okay, but he takes strike 3, and Ross picks up his first strikeout.
Ross has got a fastball anywhere from 95 to 97. And watching him warm up, he's got a pretty good breaking ball, although that's a hanging breaking ball there. Usually with 2 strikes, this particular ball gets hit, but he did fool Maglio on it. And he also throws a changeup. And when you have a pitcher like Ross that's been so successful in his amateur days with his fastball, that third pitch is always the last pitch to come for power guys.
Well, that last fastball at 94 to Miguel Cabrera. Cabrera last night 0 for 4, the average at 336.
Cabby got himself out last night. They really did not give him a whole lot to hit, but he still wanted to play. And therefore, he started swinging, and he was swinging at pitches that weren't good pitches to hit. Every now and then, you have to recognize when the opposing team is just not going to give you a whole lot to hit. And that's when you take your free pass. Albert Pujols does it better than anybody right now in baseball. And once Cabrera learns to do that, his game will elevate even more than it is right now.
Wave and a miss. 1-2 on Cabrera, who on the road this year has put up some sparkling numbers.
28 RBIs on the road this year for Cabrera. Only 8 at Comerica Park.
400 average. First in the American League, road average. And Ross misses high.
He was taking batting practice again today, and it was just really fascinating where he was hitting balls. Up in the upper tank and straightaway center field.
2-2 pitch with a runner going, and a tip into the glove for strike 3 to end the inning. So a couple of strikeouts for Ross. Nothing comes with a leadoff walk. Jeremy Bonderman will hit one out. In fact, it was the first run of the game. Inch hit a solo shot to start things off. And that helped out Justin Verlander, who today has to be feeling pretty good. I mean, what could be better than after throwing a complete game, you're just kind of hanging out in the dugout and watching some baseball today.
He owned it last night. That much is for sure. He absolutely owned it.
It's Brendan Bosch to lead it off. Bosch to be followed by Inge and then Avila. And these are former collegiate teammates facing each other now. Bosch was a junior and Ross was a freshman. They were both at Cal.
Bosch has 19 RBIs this year, which leads all American League rookies. And the fascinating thing about that statistic is the fact that the other guys have played twice as many games as Brendan Bosch has. Contact to damage ratio is off the chain.
Wave and a miss.
That fastball up there is tough to catch up to at the velocity that Mr. Ross throws at. 93, 95 above the belt buckle, awfully difficult to get to.
Now the 1-2. It's outside and high. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
And you can see the changeup right there that Suzuki was asking for, pointing down on the ground with his glove. And Ross left it up. Does not have a good feel for his changeup yet. It's still a developing pitch for the youngster.
Tipped it into the glove for strike 3, and now the strikeouts are starting to pile up to Tyson Ross. That's his 3rd in a row, as a matter of fact.
He's on a pitch count today, 70, maybe 80. So maybe he'll use them up by the 3rd or 4th inning, and then the Tigers can get into that bullpen. And I told you that it's tough to catch up to the fastball in that area where Bosch was trying to catch up to that last heater from Ross.
So here is Brandon Inge. Hit his 4th home run of the season last night. Ross, by the way, wears the number 66. It was the number he was given in spring training. Nobody thought he would really make the team, but it was a number that is kind of near and dear to him. In fact, he's worn that number since Little League because he grew up near the Coliseum on 66th Street, where he used to play Little League baseball.
Wow, you don't see many kids wearing number 66 when they play Little League.
No.
Rookies, yes, but not Little League.
So he has kept that number here.
So they got Braden wearing number, Braden what representing 209 because of the area code that he comes from, Stockton.
Yeah.
And you got the young kid here representing
66.
Route 66.
There's a ball down low. Well, he's an intriguing prospect. There's no question about that. I mean, he's got size at 6'6". He's got a fastball, they say, that has touched 97 in the minor leagues. And it's rolled foul.
I was watching him on some video before the game today, and he touched 97 his last start against the Los Angeles Angels.
There you go. Still very young, only 23 years old. He just turned 23 last month. 3-2 pitch. On a line to the shortstop and caught by Pennington.
Brandon Inge celebrated his 33rd birthday last night, and we did not wish Brandon a happy birthday. So happy belated birthday to you, Mr. Inge.
Well, it's really troubling because he hit a home run in the ball game last night.
He sure did.
And we certainly should have congratulated him at that point, but we failed to do so. 2 up, 2 down here in the second. Here is Alex Avila. Still trying to get it going offensively.
Alex is much better than a 140 hitter. That much is for sure, and Jim Leland has said as much. And he's probably starting to press a little bit. He's human. But he demonstrated to us last year in the brief time that he spent in the major leagues that he is much, much better than what he has displayed so far this year.
And I think everybody realizes that, but it brings up the question that you have to wonder about. Would he be better served down at AAA catching every day? And we kind of pondered that in spring training. The bottom line is you've got to take your best players, and that's what the Tigers did. They brought Alex Avila north.
Well, if he doesn't start to hit, he's going to end up in AAA.
Two and one on Alex.
The problem with the Tigers is they really have no catching prospects that are ready to catch in the major leagues right now.
We were rolling through some numbers yesterday in Leland's office, and I didn't realize this, but the Tigers in their entire system had only one catcher hitting above 200. From A ball to the big league.
That's why they tell you when you're young. And I couldn't do it. They told me to do it, but I couldn't do it. I could not put that gear on. That's when they tell you when you're young, start to catch. Because a lot of people don't like to do it. And if you're a good player, you'll find yourself in the major leagues. Look at Avila, for instance. He didn't start catching until college. But he hit every step of the way. Now he finds himself in the big leagues doing a very nice job defensively. And he can be a whole lot better offensively as well.
3-2 pitch. Fouled off. Avila was showing some signs, some flashes that he was coming out of his early season funk in that game against the Minnesota Twins when he hit 2 home runs at Target Field. We thought, well, that's going to get him going. But they remain his only RBIs of the year. And another foul, so he's making Ross work. 3-2 on Alex Avila.
The one thing that you admire about Avila, even though he has not hit the way that he is capable of, he still carries himself with a lot of confidence, and he has not allowed the offense to affect how he's calling the game, how he's throwing the baseball, and how he's leading the pitching staff, which is a true sign of maturation.
That's hit the other way and through. And an outstanding at bat for Alex Avila. A base hit to left field. So the Tigers have their first hit of the game. By the way, this game is available in crystal clear high definition on Fox Sports Detroit HD. It's sponsored by Comcast. Here's Santiago now after the 2-out hit. Ramon batting .250 on the year. Santiago has 1 home run on the season, and that was hit Sunday against the Boston Red Sox. And for Santiago, who will hit a handful every year, it was his first since August 15th of 2009. Bouncing ball to second base. Routine play there for Rosales, and that is that. So the Tigers fail to score, and you're walking off the field. Brandon Inge saying, man, that thing was flat out in the sunlight. I couldn't do anything about it.
Pablo said, that's all right. I got your back. Punched out Chavez on the next pitch.
Top 3 now. The Tigers will send Danny Worth to the plate. Worth, then Jackson, and then Damon. First pitch is looped in the air to shallow center. Rosales goes back. 1 pitch, 1 out. Danny Worth was 4 for 6 to start his big league career. We'll bring up Austin Jackson.
Number 14, Austin Jackson.
Austin had a walk in the first inning. He had 2 hits in the ball game last night and really delivered a key knock in that 7th inning with 2 men out. An RBI single extended the Tigers' lead to 2-0, and they would go on to add a few more. Gave Verlander breathing room that he eventually needed because he gave up the 1 run. Ball outside to Jackson. Ichiro right now is leading the American League with 58 hits, but Jackson is on his tail with 55. One and 2. Pretty good list. Butler, Cano, and the Gladiator. Now the 1-2. Line drive, base hit over the head of Rosales. Jackson's starting to heat up again.
This is why he has so many hits, is that he's not afraid to go the other way. You don't see a lot of young kids come to the major leagues with the ability to take a pitch that's an outstanding pitch, that's a breaking ball at the bottom of the strike zone, that you're fooled on, but you keep your hands back long enough for you to make contact to find some grass in the outfield.
Broken bat, loop toward right field. That's down, a base hit. Jackson coming to third base. He will stop there. And Damon is in with a bloop double to right field.
That's a risky play right there by Sweeney. If he throws that ball to second base, and just to say it hits Damon on the leg or something like that, the Tigers get a run. He was not going to throw Damon out at second. And apparently second time around, the Tigers have figured out some stuff against Ross. But right here, you throw the ball home here. You come up second, you hit Damon in the leg. You're not going to throw him out. The ball goes into left field, and you give up a run.
Damon picks up his 2nd hit of the series. Tigers in business now with 1 out. Here's Ordonez. Maglio drives one to center field. That's going to drop. Base hit. Jackson will score. Right behind him is Damon. He will score. And Ordonez comes up with a 2-run single. Maglio now with 26 RBIs.
Tigers swinging early and swinging often because Ross has tried to sneak that first pitch fastball by a lot of these guys. Damon double. Now a big single by Maglio into the outfield on the very first fastball that he sees from Ross as well. But take a look at Damon here at the top of your screen. Take a look at the jump that he gets on the base hit and how far he is when the ball lands in the outfield. That's knowing where your outfielders are before the ball's even hit. It's the only way you get a jump like that.
Popped into shallow right field and a sliding try, but it's going to drop. Ordonez will get to second. Sweeney came on and almost made that play. It's a bloop single for Cabrera.
Well, when big fella takes a swing, and of course I'm talking about number 24, Cabrera, your first step's going to be back. And Sweeney took 1 step back, and that's all Cabrera needed for him to get the base hit here. Sweeney almost got the out at second base with a good throw, but he didn't take his time. Good throw gets Maglio at second base.
That was a tough read for Ordonez, who was hung up between the bags. Not sure if that ball would be caught or if it would drop in. It eventually dropped. Now Kurt Young is out to have a chat with Tyson Ross. Tigers now putting up some hits. That is 5 in this ball game now for Detroit. Johnny Damon with a 2-base hit, safe at second base, safe and secure. New York Life.
That is 4 straight pitches. The last 4 pitches Ross has thrown have been base hits by the Tigers. Started by Jackson, Damon, Ordonez, and now Cabrera.
Brendan Bosch struck out swinging back in the 2nd.
And nothing new for the first 5. We just pointed out what they've done in this inning. Bosch being the 5th man of that team. They've been lethal. Some of the best in all of baseball this year. Average on base percentage and slugging percentage.
Driven in the air to center field and hit well. Davis on the move will go to the warning track to pull it in. Ordonez tags up and he'll move up. Brendan Bosch hit that one about 390 feet, but it's a long out. 2 gone. We'll bring up Brandon Inge. Ordonez at third, Cabrera at first base. So the Tigers now can get a 2-out hit. Inge lined out his first time up to the shortstop Pennington. Inge has 12 doubles this year, which represents the 2nd highest total on this Tigers team. Swing and a miss right through it. And it's 0-2. Ross was a 2nd-round pick of the A's in 2008. And by the time he left Cal, he was 3rd on their all-time strikeout list with 271 career for the Bears.
All Pac-10 a couple of years in 07 and 08. And if you're doing that in the Pac-10, you're pretty good because that's some of the best baseball in the entire country.
Well, he was considered a 1st-round pick until he had somewhat of an up-and-down junior season and fell to the 2nd round to the Athletics. Big tall kid, 6'6", 225 out of Berkeley. In the air, shallow left. Pennington going back hard, and he'll make the play to retire the side. Tigers take the lead, though. The 2 players traded from Oakland in exchange for Jeff Weaver in 2002. That's your AT&T trivia question. Tigers now trying to rebuild that lead as we head to the 4th inning. They will have Alex Avila, Ramon Santiago, and Danny Wirth facing the right-handed offerings of Tyson Ross.
Avila, the first time up, had a really nice at-bat against Ross. Fouled off a couple of pitches after falling behind and finally took a solid single the opposite way. If he continues to do a little bit more of that, the batting average will get well in a hurry for Avila.
Alex able to snap an 0 for 17 with that single back in the 2nd inning. And the Tigers now have 5 hits on the board. Swing and a miss.
These Oakland A's pitchers work quickly under their pitching coach, Kurt Young. They play the fastest games in the majors. As a matter of fact, last night's game was just 2 hours and 19 minutes. And the reason why their games are so quick is their pitchers waste very little time. After they grab and throw the ball, they get right back on top of the rubber, and they're ready to take their sign and deliver their next pitch. It's all about tempo with them.
They say that Ben Sheets, the veteran who came over here this year, is a very quick worker, and some of that has rubbed off on the other pitchers on the staff. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Tyson Ross was putting up some good numbers last year at Double-A Midland. In fact, he was very good for them in the playoffs. Bounces that one in. 3-2. Also saying, I was reading something about Ross saying that the A's as an organization, they lengthened his stride a little bit by about a foot when he was in the minor leagues, which added some velocity to that fastball, which has touched 97. But at 6'6", he is a load out there. Only 23 years old.
He hadn't even matured yet. He's not nearly as good as he's going to be. Guys like Ross, guys like Porcello, they haven't even grown into their bodies yet. Let's take a look at his stride to see how far he gets out there.
It's still kind of short, isn't it?
It is. He's kind of short arms the ball, kind of slings it up there. The mechanics don't look great, but he throws a lot of strikes.
There's another base hit for Avila. He's 2 for 2.
I see you, Alex. He didn't want his godfather, Lasorda, getting all on him when he got to L.A.
Number 39.
About not getting no hits. He'll be good to go now.
And Ross approaching that pitch count. He's at 63 right now.
Well, let's see if he can field his position. And the bunt is in order should Jim choose to utilize the bunt here with Santiago and Avila on first. Kuzman off at third. He's anticipating that Santiago's bunting.
Santiago is 0 for 1. He is 326 on the road this year. He's been a little bit better on the road than at home. Wave and a miss. There goes the runner. Here's the throw, and no tag. Safe at second base.
That's a good pitch by Ross and a good call by Suzuki. Suzuki's a very smart player. We've talked about how good he is defensively. After Santiago did not try to bunt the first pitch and his pitcher, Ross, fell behind, he had an idea the hit and run was going to be on, therefore asked for the ball outside. He got it. Santiago could not make contact with it, but Avila still gets his first stolen base of the year.
Put a runner in scoring position. Nobody out. Way high.
Not only is his first stolen base of the year, it is Avila's first stolen base of his career.
Well, if they take out the baseball for your first hit, would it be all right if you took second base out and gave it to him?
Yeah, absolutely. Ricky Henderson did it.
Yeah, that's true. He had a few more swipes than Alex.
He did, didn't he?
A ton more. There's a broken bat, base hit down the right field line. This will get another run in. Avila coming around to score, and Santiago will hold at first base with a single. 7th RBI of the year for Ramon.
Ross has started to get a few balls up here in the strike zone in this particular inning, and Santiago just does a very nice job every time he gets a chance to play. Bat shatters, but he finds some real estate in the outfield. I thought he was going to entertain the thought of challenging Sweeney here, but Sweeney's got a pretty good throwing arm, and Santiago thought better of it.
Vin Mazzaro is warming up in the Athletics bullpen, the right-hander. So the Tigers, after giving up a run, get it right back here in the 4th inning. Mazzaro was just called up today from Sacramento. He'll be next in this game. He was scheduled to back up Tyson Ross, who again is on a pitch count today. Here's Danny Worth. Worth popped up to the second baseman back in the 3rd.
And Worth is one of those guys that could really handle the bat. Bob Guerin called for the pitch out there, but nothing was happening with the Tigers.
Tigers now have 7 hits. Bonderman has not surrendered a hit, but he's walked 4 and hit a batter. One and 2 on Worth. He was batting .274 down at AAA Toledo with a couple of homers and 14 RBIs.
He's gotten a lot stronger. Worth is one of those guys that has not hit a whole lot throughout his minor league career because he just wasn't all that strong, but he's gotten a little stronger. And because he's gotten stronger, the offensive output has gone up a little bit. But he can really catch that baseball.
Strike call, and he got him looking. Strikeout number 4 for Tyson Ross. Here's Austin Jackson.
Austin Jackson.
Jackson a single and a walk. He had a couple of hits in the ball game last night, so it's good to see him start to heat up a little bit after a slow homestand for Detroit.
He has hit in 20 of 21 of his first road games to start off his big league career.
Almost threw it away. Well, his runs scored in the third now gives him 30 for the season. Damon right behind him has 30 as well, so they have really been a terrific 1-2 punch in the Tigers lineup. If you set him up, Tigers have a couple of guys that can drive him in. Ordonez and Cabrera.
Yeah, a couple of table setters, and Jackson and Damon. And then the big boppers. Ordonez, Cabrera, and big Brennan Bosch.
Now the 1-2. 2-2 on Austin Jackson. Rolled foul. Talking about Ross in the minor leagues last year, he was promoted to Double-A Midland and then participated in the championship round there. And Midland won a title, but Ross pitched a couple of ball games and was really, really good. Fouled away again. Made the club out of spring training. Not somebody thought he would. Started the season in the bullpen.
This could be his last batter. They said they wanted to keep him anywhere between 70 and 80 pitches. He's at 77 right now.
And a bouncing ball to short. Pennington to second one. Relay scooped at first. Terrific play by Barton for the double play. 6-4-3. Tigers get a run though on the RBI.